Hi everybody, Levi Clay here, and I'm back again to, well, talk about triads, because this guy won't shut up about those damn triads. And yeah, we've done a few videos on the concept in the past, most recently looking at triad pairs. We did that for both Dorian and Mixolydian contexts to give you some sounds that you could use to play over those contexts. But the problem with both of those contexts is that the triads we were using were major triads that were a tone apart. So it's very easy to do without really thinking about it, because you're just playing your A major triad and then playing a triad a tone lower. That's relatively easy to visualize. So I thought we could delve a little bit further into the jazz world with some triads that are actually taken from unrelated keys. Now, if you go back and you read books like the Gary Campbell book, Expansions, you will find this in there called the tritone scale. I think scale is a bit of a misnomer here. It's definitely a triad pairs approach. What we're going to do is we're going to take triads that are a tritone apart from each other. So completely unrelated triads. If we do this in A, your first triad will be A major. And a flat 5 higher than A is E flat. So we're going to take A major triads and offset them against E flat major triads. Now these sound very dramatically different, these two chord sounds. They sound, absolutely wild. So before moving on, it's important that we do the analysis that we were doing in those last videos, where we ask ourselves, well, what sound does this create? That's the important thing. Understanding the theory, understanding what this is doing, so we have a better idea of where we can use this. So if we play these over an A bass note, let's just make it an A major chord. I'll tell you what, I'll make it an A7 chord. If we play an A major triad over that A7 chord, the intervals that we have would be the root of the A chord, we've got the fifth of the A chord, and we've got the third of the A chord. So they all sound absolutely fine with each other. All of these notes are good. All of those notes are absolutely fine over that A chord. When we play the E flat, it's important that we don't think of this as being the root of E flat, the third of E flat, and the fifth of E flat. We have to understand these in relation to that A chord. So while that A chord is still playing, this note is no longer the root of E flat. It's now the flat 5 of the A chord. This is no longer the third of E flat. This is the flat 7 of A, and this is the flat 9 of A. So interval-wise, we have the flat 5, the flat 7, and the flat 9. So, well, when you think of those intervals, we wouldn't really play them as a scale per se. Not that it sounds bad when you do that, but the concept is triad based. When we do that, we have the root, the third, and the fifth. We also have the flat 5, the flat 7, and the flat 9. So we've got an A7 chord, root, third, flat 7, and root, third, fifth, and flat 7. But we're also introducing the flat 5 and the flat 9. So this is going to give us an A altered sound. Nice and simple. Whoops. When you play those triads against each other. So I have some exercises for you to work on that I've been doing with students just recently to give them an idea of how to practice this, and this will give you an idea of what this sounds like, and we're going to progressively get harder with these. So the first example would just be playing harmonic triad voicings. So I'm going to play 3 notes of the A major triad, and then I'm going to move to an E flat and then resolve to A. Now what this is doing is it's training me to see ways to go between these triads. So that's 6, 5, and 5, the top 3 strings, 8, 8, and 8, the middle 3, and then 7, 6, and 5. Now I can continue. Here's my A, here's my my E flat. That's me seeing that C shape. And resolving to A. So I should be able to go through all of those. So obviously, compared to the other triad pairs that we've been doing, where you're literally just taking a triad and playing it a tone lower or a tone higher, this one you're really having to think. So I play my A chord, and I visualise my A voicing. I need to play E flat, so I visualise, here's E flat, here's my chord voicing, so here's the smaller part of that. I need to go back to A, visualise the big chord, play the small part. I'm playing A. I need to visualise how I would continue down the neck and play E flat. Well, I see my E flat here at the 6th fret, I see my chord voicing, and I play part of that chord voicing, and then resolving to Now we could continue this. Here would be A. If I want to continue down, E flat would be here, and then A would be here. In theory, we could just keep going. Here would be E flat, here would be A. And we can't really go lower. I guess I could do that. I just can't go an A below that. So we'd have E flat to A, 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 E flat to A. So that would be the first exercise I would encourage you to practice with this, forcing yourself to visualize each of those triads. And the visualization is the key part. The next lick that I'm going to present is, well, incredibly simple. We're just taking each one of these triad voices and descending them with a triplet. So instead of playing, we would play So each one of those triads, E flat, playing with a triplet. Triple, 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 triple. I guess you could ascend with these as well, that would work. Now, of course, that has a sound. When you play that, it immediately has a sound and an effect. It gives us an A altered chord, as I talked about. So when you offset it against some blues lines, it definitely has a sound to it. Now, very fusion, right? Very Scott Henderson, let's go with. You can use this in context as well, of course, because A7 resolves to D. So if you play a line like this, it's kind of begging you to go. And resolve that line to D. If I'm playing a blues, I might play 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, A. Again, A. And then E. some basic blues changes. So that would be lick number 1 for you to practice. The next lick, I really wanted to move away from playing these boring triplets, going round and round playing triplet, 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 triplet. So I have a rhythmic phrase now. We're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 but we're going to leave the first note empty. So we'd have da 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 da. Not that tricky. And we're also playing a sequence. So I'm going to ascend up my A major triad. Move down to E flat, to the highest note of E flat. And then play the lowest note of that E flat triad. And ascend. And then of course I want to resolve to my A sound, so A, E flat, and then resolve to the E, A, sorry. So that's me landing on the third of my A chord. Giving me that sound. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can carry that sequence on. Any way you play that sequence is going to work. So if I play back A major like this, I could then play E flat. You put those two next to each other. Let's try it again. That totally works, and we like that. Now you could continue on down. Here would be an A major triad, and then here's an E flat. So now we've got a line or a longer run. Play the right note at the end, that's important. So if you're playing One, two, three, four. Yeah, so that would be our second line. Definitely some fun that you can have with that one. Now, the final line, I really, really wanted to mix things up for you. So we're definitely playing these two triads. I'll play it lick by lick for you, or bar by bar, if you like. We're really mixing them up though here. So the first bar sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm throwing a triplet in there. So I'm playing 11 on the B, 10 on the B, and then 9, 11. So that's starting on a note from an E flat triad, and then I'm descending an A major triad. I then shift up to the 13th fret of the D string, and I play up an E flat major triad. And I end on C sharp, which is the third of our A triad. So you've really got E flat, A, E flat, A. So we're mixing those up a bit. Okay, the second bar, we play 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, we're starting on that C sharp, moving down to A. So these are two notes of an A major triad. I then hit 12 and 13, and that's E flat, A, E flat. Then we've got a note from A, but then two notes from E flat, and ending on a note from A. And then to finish it up, we have 14. Same principle. We're hitting A, and then we have three notes of E flat, then three notes of an A, and then resolving to a note from that E flat triad, flat 5 right over the A. So if you play that entire line, it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Put a little end on there. Again, a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. Getting carried away. Yeah, so nice little line, and it really does mix things up. It's a couple of notes of E flat, a few more notes of A, some E flat, some A, and it definitely has a really cool sound to it. Once you really spend some time practicing this E flat and A flat triad idea, you will very quickly absorb this sound and go, this is something that I crave. And you'll be sitting and you'll be playing your blues lines. Stuff like that, which is, all fine and sounds good, but you'll be doing it and you'll crave that. You just get carried away. Right, that'll do. That's enough from me. So yeah, lots of fun that you can have with that as a triad pairs concept. And as I've notated some ideas there, but really this is about improvisation. You want to be able to practice this stuff so you can incorporate those triads into your lines when you're playing without them sounding too forced or out of place. So you need to, while learning those lines would be good for you, it's about coming up with your own vocabulary. It's about exploring and having fun with this as a concept. So get practicing and see what you can come up with. So did you enjoy that? Let me know in that comment section below. And lastly, just say a huge thank you to supporters over on Patreon. A lot of those guys up in that $50 private lessons tier have been looking at this as a concept with me in lessons recently. So this will be nothing new to them. Those guys are probably kicking ass with this now, and outshining me with some of their really cool tritone scale ideas. So yeah, if you want to be like those awesome people, you can do so by checking me out on Patreon. There is a link in the description, also a button up there. You can subscribe by clicking this button down here, and you'll see 2 more of my videos here and here. Yes. Thank you so much for all the love, kindness, and support, guys. And yeah, any questions, let me know, and I will see you for another video soon. Goodbye.